So what is it like to coach a player when he starts as 8 years old and goes all the way through junior golf, college golf, amateur golf, wins on tour, major championship winner, top 5 player in the world? It's exciting, but there's a lot for you to learn. Hi, it's Dr. Rick Sessinghaus. I am so excited to tell you about my journey of coaching Collin Morikawa for the last 21 years. First off, it was when he came to me as an 8-year-old, he had that focus. He had that childlike ambition to just play golf. I know that sounds weird, but I think we're so obsessed with the game of golf. We want to play better all the time. And he just enjoyed the game for what it was. Something that he could go play. He'd be creative. He could try different things out. He played a little baseball, a little bit of basketball, and he developed as an athlete. And then as he specialized with golf, when he was becoming 14, 15, 16, that athleticism certainly helped him be the best junior golfer that he could be. Now, from 8 to 12, he again looked at things as learning. And we put him on the golf course a lot, not about his golf swing as much, but coaching him how to play the game. And I used to throw balls all the way around the golf course out of different lies. And all we could do was learn about the golf shot. Hit a shot, adjust. Hit a shot, adjust. And he really took that to heart. It wasn't about just banging balls on the range and trying to get a perfect golf swing. It was the nuances of the game. How to hit different shots in different conditions. I've been asked many times, how did you actually coach Collin in those lessons? There's 2 big steps. One is about the learning mindset. And how I did this was I did a 3-ball challenge with him. We would be in the middle of a golf course and I would throw him in a position. In that first shot, he got to choose his club, his target, and the shot he wanted to play. After he hit that golf shot, I would say, great, Collin. No matter what the ball did, I would then say you get a second ball. You can hit the same shot you wanted if you feel that that's the best way to do it, or you can pick a different club. You can pick a different shot, or if it's a technical thing, you can make an adjustment from the first one. After he hits the second ball, I put down a third ball and I got to tell him what I wanted him to do. And it might be a little bit different. Hey, let's grip down on this. Let's hit a little more cut. Let's take this ball position, put it back. And I was testing him to help him problem solve these different lies and situations. So that was the 3-ball challenge. If you get an opportunity to go play late in the afternoon, put a few down. How will you learn from each repetition so the next one's a little bit better? Can you solve a problem in different ways? So that was the first part. The other part, which I love to this day with all my players, is competition. Right? We want to transfer those skills out on the golf course, and it feels different because we're on the golf course and we want to play well. But are you competing in your practice? Probably not. So in the last 5 minutes of every lesson with Collin, I would compete against him. Right? It could be a putting contest, a chipping closest to the hole, who can hit this drive the straightest, but there was always something on the line. And yes, at first, I'm a professional golfer, I'm beating the 8-year-old. But there was a time, now it flipped. He's beating me more often. But why did I do this? I wanted to put some stakes at it. I want to have some risk. I want to have some consequence. I want to see how does he show up under competition. Not many people practice when they're uncomfortable. And it's too late when they go into tournaments. So start to compete. Yeah, you might have your good friend that you want to compete on the putting green with. Compete against yourself also on the range. See how close you can hit a shot. Competition is going to bring out the best in you as long as you can learn from it. So start to create some different patterns of, how many 8-footers can I make in a row? Or if I don't hit this ball within 40 yards on the range, I got to do another one, right? There could be consequences involved. Competition is going to be the secret power to help you shoot lower scores. What I admired about Collin at a young age is his focus. So many juniors nowadays, they're scattered with their focus. They're all over the place. Collin was very focused, very calm, very coachable. And so as he now took it more serious, 16, 17, 18, he had aspirations of playing college golf. Yes, he started to even focus even more. His work ethic was consistent. And all I remembered was we were not obsessed with winning junior tournaments. What we were both obsessed with is getting better. And how can we get better 6 months from now, a year from now, when he now goes and plays college golf? He finished his junior career with a lot of big wins, and he getting recruited by some of the best programs in the country. And he ended up going to Cal Berkeley. And from there, we saw another jump in his development. Here, he could play all over the country against some of the best college players in the world, and he could see really where his game fit. And he kept getting better and better and better. And part of that was his mindset. Part of that was his preparation, how he practiced, his pre-shot routine, his level of commitment to golf shot, his emotional regulation when things did not go well, his ability to close out tournaments and win it when he felt uncomfortable. Those are all those things that he was learning throughout age 8, now up to about 21, 22. Then he turns pro. Now, most people say, well, you have a learning curve. Yeah, it may not work at first, and you got to go to Korn Ferry Tour, you got to go to these different tours. But Collin took advantage of some sponsors' exemptions, and he played some great golf. And he wins, I think it was his 5th event, which now gets him his PGA Tour card. Now here's where it gets interesting. Now you win. What happens? Well, he kept winning. And in those next 2.5 years, he now wins another time. And then he wins the PGA Championship, and then another time, and then he wins the Open Championship. Part of it is the consistency. When he turned pro, he made 22 cuts in a row, which, other than Tiger Woods, has been the most consistency coming out as a rookie. Where does that consistency come from? It comes from preparation. It comes from practice. It comes from mindset, treating each day as a new round, as a new day to be at your best. And so with those 2.5 years, wow, he achieved so much. And after that, you can think about this. You're having all the success, is we as a team go, wow, how do we get better? And this is where I think all of us as golfers is that we expect it to just keep going and going and going. And expectations sometimes get us frustrated. Expectations can also push us. And I think in that next part of Collin's career, there was a little bit of high expectations for sure, a little bit of frustration when the wins weren't coming like they used to. But within that, he got to play in some awesome team events, President's Cup, Ryder Cups, winning at Whistling Straits. That was awesome, right? And being up the biggest stages with the majors, with the team competitions, he was now pushing himself to learn more about his game. And recently, we've seen now his performance, again, get back to the consistency at a high level. Winning the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, top 10s in majors, is that it's all about the learning and development. Sometimes it just doesn't go like this, sometimes it goes like this. And the consistent thread that I want to emphasize is his mindset. The mindset of always learning, the mindset of enjoying the challenge, of putting himself in uncomfortable situations, the mindset of having a clear goal. I think in golf sometimes we press a lot. We think it's about golf swing. We think it's about putting stroke. We think those are all important. I'm a swing coach. I understand the cause and effects. I understand we want to learn new shots. But the consistent thread of excellence is about mindset. And are you now training that mindset on day to day? I know you don't have the time and the resources that a professional golfer has. But when you go to the range, are you getting the most out of that? When you go on the golf course, are you using your pre-shot routine to be focused, confident, and calm? I've been fortunate to be Collin's coach for over 21 years, and I've seen that development from an 8-year-old to a 2-time major champion. And as you can see, it was much more than just his golf swing that helped him achieve his goals. So it's time for you to now level up your own game and look at these different performance factors. Are you training your mindset, your focus, being calm under pressure? That is what you need. So take these principles out on the golf course today to reach your golfing goals.